Welcome back to another exciting patch notes video. Yep, it's that time of the year, and we are going to kick things off with the campaign ship and a little live reaction to the trailer, which we got a couple days ago. Let's take a look here. The new campaign, Danubian Pearl. It's going to be Jager at tier 7, and I like the return of the tier 7 destroyer again. Last year we got the Anchorage at tier 7. It's nice. It's nice to not get a tier 8 ship, especially if you're looking for something to grind. I wanted to point this out for those of you who are new to the game. The premium credit boost at tier 7 is 55%. If you have a premium ship and you play it and grind it at tier 7, it's the best way to earn credits. All right, let's roll it. The ship looks like a tier 2. When was this built? Like 1903? Very interesting. It's going to be at tier 7. What does it have up its sleeves? It has some torpedoes, I'd say. Good grief. 3, 6, 9, 12 torpedoes that go 86 knots. They barely deal any damage, but hey, that's a pan-European thing, I suppose. And I bet buffed into this reload, you can easily get it down below a minute, I would say. Torpedo Safari, what's that guy's name? Stig Eriksson, I believe. Yeah, this is going to definitely be a through-and-through torpedo boat. Let's look. What else does she have to offer? Pan-European torpedo angles. You can stack them on top of one another, basically, you know, fire in very slim lines. That is interesting. Consumables. The first thing I notice, no smoke. So if you get into a little bit of a pickle, you're not going to be able to get out of it. Speed boost consumable. I wonder if it's 8% or if it's any better. You got a heal, and you have a torpedo reload booster. Interesting. So you're throwing 12 torps downrange, then you could throw another 12 downrange. That is pretty cool. Probably not a lot of HP, I would say. Oh, 15,900. That's pretty average for the tier, I'd suppose. And then pretty normal armor, but you're going to have those repair parties that will help you stay in the fight, it looks like. Roll it here. There's a nice battleship dying. Maneuverability. She's fast. Fast AF, boy. Good turning circle, good rudder shift. So it's an agile little boat, and it does look little, so it'll be a hard target to hit at longer ranges. And with that speed boost and everything running, yeah, this thing should be pushing 45 knots, I bet. Very fast. HP pool, decent. Nothing was said at all about the guns, so what I'm going to infer from that is they're terrible. How many guns does it even have? Probably not much of a gunboat, so maybe even DPM down by Kagero Udachi levels, I don't know. We'll have to see. But it looks like a ship that you're definitely going to be relying a lot on those torpedoes, and 12 of them is nice, so interesting. First impressions, though, I don't know that this is necessarily going to be the most competitive or powerful tier 7 ship. Still though, tier 7 premium, man, you can't go wrong there. Here is a code if you guys are looking for it to get you a Lunar 23 crate, which is also coming back. The Northern Dragon, one of the worst tier 7 destroyers in the game, is coming back. Be sure to get yours today. The next thing that we could be excited about is the Azur Lane Way 5 collab coming back, which I am pretty excited about. Headlined, of course, by the Bismarck. Going to be pretty cool. Here's what the collab looks like. The Bismarck, it is just going to be a skin, Zara skin, Colorado skin, Cheshire skin, I believe. And then I would assume this one over here is going to be the standalone premium ship. Again, I'm guessing. And I think it is the Sovietsky Rossiya, which on PC is a standalone ship. Looks pretty cool. What sets it apart from the Sovietsky Soyuz, and I hope I'm pronouncing all of this correct, is it has American dispersion ellipses, which I thought was pretty cool. So it's going to have American battleship dispersion formulas. So worse accuracy at close range while being more consistent at longer ranges. Of course, the Soviet battleships, we know if you're shooting at anything in World of Warship Legends over 11 kilometers, you're going to get that shotgun effect. Another thing to point out here, the turret rotation is even worse. So it's going to be brutally slow rotating the turrets. We'll have to see what the new Sovietsky Rossiya commander does. Otherwise, you know, running Kedrov would probably help with this. Good turret firing angles, very tanky, of course, like all Soviet battleships are, as long as you don't show too much broadside. But yeah, so very resilient to HE spam and things like that. good armor, good firing angles, good ballistics. I'm assuming just like any other Soviet battleship, she's going to have fast shell velocity, 950 meters per second. So it should be a pretty interesting standalone battleship at tier 8, right by the Sovietsky Suyez. Let's go back to our picture. So yes, the Zara, Bismarck skin, Colorado. Now the other commanders up here, here's the Zara commander, and what could we hope for here? Maybe something to buff like the SAP shells. I think that would be interesting to give a unique flavor to the Italian cruisers. This commander, this is the Russian Sovietsky Rossiya commander, and I would hope for kind of a hybrid commander, something between Lev Galler, which to me is not the best commander. Like, I don't want the base trait of my HE shells being buffed, but if this were a hybrid commander with some accuracy perks and master mechanic or something like that, that would be cool. KMS Bismarck, what would I want? I would want something to buff secondaries. Of course, what else? You know, make these German battleships really powerful with their secondaries. I don't know, improve reload, improve damage, or maybe even something interesting with the sonar, because Bismarck has sonar, Zieten, Odin, there's a lot of German sonar battleships, so, you know, a base trait or a skill with that could be interesting. Moving over here to the Azur Lane, Colorado. I don't know. We already have Azur Lane, New Jersey for the American line, and she's very, very powerful. But I had heard on Tommy Boy's video, he was talking about this commander having the Big 7 perk, like Azur Lane Nelson. So if that were something that came to the American battleship line, that would be pretty interesting. And then Azur Lane Cheshire. Not sure what I would expect out of her. Maybe something for survivability or AA. The Cheshire at tier 6 is known for having insane AA. I don't know. It's like ridiculous. It's off the charts, like 600 AA DPS at tier 6. It's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, overall a cool collab. And the great thing about Legends over PC is you can buy each of these commanders standalone for 5,000 doubloons. You don't have to gamble for crates and hope you get the one you want. You can buy the commander you want, and I'm hoping obviously that stays that way because it's a good feature not to have to waste your money on something you don't want to have. So the French cruisers and the German destroyers come to full access. And if you guys saw my JG Merker video, I freaking love these new alternative German destroyers. They're really fun. They're really good. The Z31, the GJ Merker, and then now we're going to get the F Schulze Boy. So let's jump over on PC Wows and take a look at that. We'll go to Germany, yeah. And then again, we have the split in the line. We have the Merker already, and here is the Schulze. So what I'm expecting is getting to L-bong levels with these guns. They're the big guns, 150 millimeters, big, powerful, slow reload, good AP is what I would expect. Let's take a look at the armor, of which I would hope to see, yeah, 25 millimeters here in the middle, just like the Z31, just like the Elbing. It will shatter a lot of HE for people who aren't paying attention to it, making her just a little bit more survivable and tanky. Big beefy HP pool, of course, love to see it. The artillery, 150 millimeters, 7.4 seconds on the base reload. They'll be super accurate. They'll have improved AP penetration. Look at that velocity, 960 meters per second for the AP. Pretty powerful, and they have big alpha. So yeah, I think the Schulze is going to be about to Elbing levels. And of course, that also means Elbing torpedoes. They're slow, 50 knots. They have average damage for tier 8. Overall, you're really going to want to be using the guns because the torpedoes just aren't worth relying on. It looks like you have 8 of them, just like Elbing. Decent AA for these ships, if I remember right, although this 126 DPS isn't anything super impressive, but it should have DFAA. Not very maneuverable, good speed in the straights, but a big turning circle and a long rudder shift. Something to be aware of there. And again, not the best concealment. But yes, equipment-wise, I would expect to see DFAA and smoke, just like we're used to with our ship. Now on to the French. So their line splits here as well with the Cherbourg. Good God, I have a hard time pronouncing that. Cherbourg, oh gosh, okay, it's painful. Let's move on. So now we're going to get the next ship in the line here. And I would expect more of the same, you know, stealthy, fast, reload booster, punchy guns. The armor, probably not going to be a whole lot to write home about. 25mm bow, so you definitely got to know how to angle your armor. 30mm on the deck is pretty nice. Decent armor belt, and then I would absolutely 100% expect a turtleback scheme, kind of like these Dunkirk-style battleships would have. That'll protect you from citadels up close if you get into a brawly situation. On to the guns. 330s, same as the tier before with a pretty long reload, 28 seconds. So that's hard to deal with, but the shell velocity and the AP pen and the AP damage are all really, really good. 9,700 damage per shell, 870 meters per second for the shell velocity. So maybe overpinning cruisers at close ranges, but powerful guns for sure. You just have to get used to that reload. And of course, the all-front gun configuration is pretty nice. And what I would assume is a bunch of useless secondaries, but I haven't tested them out, so I don't know. If someone's ran a secondary build, let me know. That would be very, very interesting. On PC, they have 8-kilometer range. Do we get that on Legends? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That could be interesting. Mediocre, decent AA, I would suppose. 254 on the DPS. Concealment, though, should be really, really good. On Legends, definitely I saw people with their Sherbor getting down to like 9 to 10 kilometers detection area. Pretty stealthy. Top speed looks mediocre, but you get that French speed boost consumable that is really going to get you moving pretty fast. Long rudder shift, don't like that. Decent turning circle, 720 meters per second for basically a battleship. That's not bad at tier 8, which this is going to be at tier 8. Now the consumables that I would expect, it should have a main battery reload booster. It should have a speed boost. Engine boost consumable. It's French, 20%. That is lovely. That is very, very lovely. The main battery reload booster, our heals, and sonar. So a good consumable suite to kind of round this one out. And I'm kind of actually excited to play this one. I think it could be interesting. So yes, those ships come out of early access and these tier 8s come to the game. So something to look forward to, some new ships that you can earn for free without having to fork out any money. Ranked seasons. I'm not the best person to talk about this as I often skip ranked. I just skip it. I don't ever play it. Usually it's not worth the headache, although I do want that precious steel, so maybe I need to make my way back. But 50 seasons of it, good grief, that is a lot. Those are coming back. The Lunar New Year content, I think it's some skins, if I recall, for some of those Pan-Asian cruisers. Like the Harbin and the Sejong. So look for those camos, and then of course the destroyer there that I would definitely not recommend. It's an AP only, basically Akazuki. I never vibed with it. Maybe you can make it work. It just wasn't my favorite. It wasn't my thing. I don't think it was the easiest ship to play at all. And there are so many strong DDs at tier 7. Good grief. Imagine taking that thing up against like a Friesland or a Loyang player or a Somme or something like that. Some updates to the port interface for Legends on mobile, which I haven't logged into mobile in a very, very long time, but I would like to kind of see what the changes look like. I'm still looking forward to the day that this goes live. I'm hoping for a massive influx of players, which is simultaneously scary and exciting at the same time, but still. So some updates over there to check out. That is pretty cool. And this. Our port, us on console, it sounds like it got a significant overhaul as well. That part I'm a little more worried about. The store. Usually when apps and stuff roll things out, I have muscle memory built. I've been doing the same thing, scrolling through the same menus. I know where to find things, and I don't like change. What can I say? I'm old. I'm a boomer. I don't like change. So I'm not really looking forward to this, but it is what it is, and we'll have to get used to it. Daily rewards for logging into the game. 7 more have been added, so that is kind of cool. I know on World of Warships PC, every time I log in, there's a little reward that I can click, collect, and that's a nice little dopamine hit. So it looks like we're going to get that on Legends. Promo orders, I mean, some of these are pretty decent. A commander crate? Yes, please. So look forward to that. Blah, 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 blah. London port is staying. Redesigned the UI when opening containers. Now this part I thought was pretty cool. you can actually see your progression towards guaranteed drops, which is useful. Unfortunately, it's an update too late for me because I would like to see how many Santa level blah blahs I had and what my percentage of getting the Jambar might be. It's still terrible, yes, but that is an interesting addition that came one update too late in my opinion. But yeah, guys, that is the update in a nutshell. I appreciate you hanging out with me to go over the update, and I'll see you guys on the high seas. This is Sturka signing off. Catch you in the next one. See ya.